Hey everyone.
Hey,
How you doing? How you doing, Dre? Good
doing
morning.
well, Garrett. Doing well.
Good morning, and thank you
Or
for making time.
cinematic. I'll call you cinematic because that's what I see on the screen there. Cinematic man, cinematic
Right,
tendency. Yes.
right on, right on. All right, everyone. So, good morning. Thank you if you're joining live or after the fact. Thank you for making time to watch this live stream. So today, I am with the one and only Dre. How you doing, Dre?
How we doing, everyone out there? Welcome, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Uh, you know what's interesting about this? That music that YouTube provides, or I don't know if it's YouTube or whoever, but that
Uh-huh.
music is got a nice build up with the countdown. Dun, dun,
Oh
dun,
yeah.
dun, 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 dun. I'm like jamming to it, like, oh, okay. Can we keep that the whole time? But no, no. So,
I know. It's
but
only 30
yeah,
seconds. It's only
it's
30
only.
seconds. I'm like, I need more than that.
I need more. Give me more. That is. I like that sound. That is a nice beat. Nice beat.
And and yeah, so Dre, he's the official co-host because you are the official one. Am I right? Yeah, you're
I
the
guess
official.
so. I guess
I
that's
know
what it says in the credits, right? Yeah.
because I
Somehow
know
I made it.
he's the official co-host of the Kung Fu Genius, also
Yes,
known. Well, I should say Sifu Alex Richer, also known as the Kung Fu Genius. But
that is right.
I just call him the KFG or the Kung
We
Fu
all
Genius.
do. We all do. We well, for the most part, many people call him Sifu Sigong in
Uh
our
huh.
family. A lot of people call him Sigong in our family because he's an old man in our family. He's an old guy. But I have the privilege of calling him Sifu. I can't stop calling him seafood with that. I gotta always stretch it out because
Uh
that's what he means to me. Seafood,
huh.
So,
So
but
you guys have you guys have a great podcast going on over there.
I think yeah, I think people like it.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, I'm grateful for that. There has been a lot of trial and error with that, especially in
Mm-hmm.
the beginning we wanted to figure out what the people wanted, and we tried a bunch of things. We did figure out a few things, but still there's a lot to figure out. So we're only on year what, 3 or 4, um and I think we're going into year 3,
Uh huh.
and it's just a remarkable journey because you're getting a lot of people like you that are like hardcore guys that come every week,
Mm-hmm.
um and then you get the newcomers that come in and they're just like, what is this? Where has this been? Why is this, like, how did I miss this whole time? And now I got to catch up. And so you get those, and then you get the haters, which you gotta love the haters. They're the best. They're the best. My seafood loves when they chime in and say the best things, because he's really into saying snarky comments,
Uh
and
huh.
just, he's really into that. Just, and especially, oh man, this is one of the things that pisses him off the most, when they say, "Who's this fool that you're with? This guy you should fire him." The guy talking about me. Oh, he loves that. That's what gets him. That's what gets him going. I gotta say, I he's got my back. So
Uh huh.
he
Awesome.
don't like when people say anything about me unless it's
Well,
good.
well, when I had him in my channel,
Right.
like I was telling you, like December
Hmm.
2022. At the
Oh
time,
yeah, yeah.
he was in Florida during that time for 2 weeks or whatever.
That's right. Right.
And
He
and
goes down there every year. Yeah.
hmm yeah, and I asked him about you, and he had nothing but great things to talk about you. So
I got to see this episode. I don't think I've watched
you
it.
have
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think he reserves that, no one can talk bad about me but him. That's where he draws the line. So no,
And
but I got to check that out.
I'm thinking he was talking good things about you because you were not there.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. No, we do have a interesting relationship, and
Uh-huh.
I gotta say, when I first started training uh, Wing Chun,
Hmm.
it wasn't it wasn't it wasn't about me, you know, becoming a sifu. It wasn't about me becoming a good martial artist in any way. It wasn't even about me becoming like a bouncer, whatever. I
Hmm.
just went in because I knew I haven't done it in a long time.
Hmm.
And I'm like, no, I got to get back in. I got to get back in it. I got to get back in because I trained back in my 20s and I trained for a brief stint. But
I was still talking about Wing Chun or something else back then.
when I trained in my 20s, I started with Aikido.
Steven
I
Seagal. Steven
Oh
Seagal.
yes, I had a time, about a what 6 month time frame of trying to figure out what do I want to do in martial arts, because
Hmm.
as a youngster, you know, as a kid, you see your friends, they have their gi on, they
Hmm.
go wherever. I didn't know where they were going. I knew they were doing martial arts, but I didn't know
Uh-huh.
what particular style they were doing. You know about karate and you know about kung fu as a kid, right?
Yeah.
But my mother was the type of mother that we were poor, but she let me know we were poor. Like, there's kids growing up, you you grow up and you're poor, but you don't know you're poor. No,
Mm.
my mother was like, no, we're poor. So there was no karate or anything for that. I knew I couldn't even ask. Like, oh no. But what was cool was we had every Saturday we had a thing called, I don't know, it was a kung fu cinema
Okay.
every Saturday after the cartoons on Channel 5. So
Uh-huh.
this would come on with kung fu flicks, and it would be about an hour, and then we get to go outside and play, and you got to see us playing, man. We were fighting, thinking we knew everything. It was awesome, but it was always after the kung fu flicks.
Uh-huh.
Um, and then, of course, when I got into my 20s, it took me a little while to figure out what I wanted to do. I knew about Bruce Lee. I knew
Yeah.
about wushu,
Uh-huh.
because I did train a little wushu from a book
Oh,
in my teen years. I was doing
was
a
it?
horse stance,
Uh-huh.
and then I don't know what it was. I had some friends working in a restaurant, and one of the guys told me, Aikido. I do Aikido and I love it, blah, blah, blah.
Uh-huh.
And for some reason, the conviction in his voice made me go to the Aikikai. The Aikikai in New York City is an amazing place.
Uh-huh.
It's been there for 50 years or so, right? So I go there and I start training, and they teach me no kicking, punching. They just teach me how to fall. And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
learning how to fall for months. For
Yeah.
months. I mean, months and months and months. I'm learning how to fall. I was there about a year. I learned some good stuff.
Uh-huh.
Um, but I was very good at falling, not good at striking. I was not good at kick. I couldn't kick my way out of a cardboard box. It was just like, come on, I can't kick here. So I wanted to go and find something else, and I found a Jeet Kune Do school about
All right.
15 blocks north from where I
Mm-hmm.
was training,
Not too
and
far.
not too far. The odd thing about that was, I I go to the school to check it out, the Jeet Kune Do school.
Uh-huh.
I'm there, and I'm checking out the students train. In those days, you can actually sit down and watch a class. Checking out the class, but the Sifu wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
The Sifu was out and about. No clue. But as I'm checking out the class, the Sifu comes in with maybe 4 or 5 students. And they're all sweaty. And like they just had a crazy workout. The class is finishing up, right? The class is pretty much done. And now these particular students that were not in the school, they were out with their Sifu, they're talking about everything that went on,
Uh-huh.
right? They just came from challenging a different school.
Oh.
So they literally just like they're going over the events of that challenge. And what was wild was the Sifu of the school started demonstrating all the stuff that they did in live time right in front of me. And I'm like, oh, this guy got some moves. He almost
Uh-huh.
looks like Bruce Lee in a way. But the way he demonstrated everything grabbed me. And I was
Uh-huh.
like, okay, I'm gonna join this school. This guy knows his stuff. I can see, right?
Yeah.
You're an expert when you're in your 20s, right? You're an expert at everything. So you can see, yeah, this guy's an expert because I know he's an expert, right?
He's
So
legit.
I think maybe a few days later or a week later, I'm in my Aikido class in the school, and we're doing a drill. And
Uh-huh.
this drill was to grab, literally, you got everyone running around the room frantically, and you got to grab someone. And when you grab them, they have to get out of this grab instantly, right? But you
Uh-huh.
have about 30 people running around all over grabbing everyone, right? And in the melee, I break my toe.
Oh.
I think I had like a hairline fracture or something, right?
Uh-huh.
Not knowing that I broke my toe, I had my class, my first day of class after that class at the
Mm.
JKD school. So
Mm-hmm.
I walked from my Aikido school to
Aikido,
the new school with a
JKD.
broken toe, just like limping, like, whoa, what's going on here? I can't.
So so we're
Ah,
talking about like 15, 16 blocks, right?
oh yeah, yeah. I walked there, but I had so much adrenaline from running around grabbing people, and
Uh-huh.
I didn't even, I didn't even care. But I get to my new school, I start training, and it was so strange because I'm here with this broken toe, not knowing I had a broken toe.
Yeah.
And my teacher, this is literally what they do to all the beginner students. They throw you in this. So the JKD school was doing JKD concepts, right?
Okay.
So you're doing some Wing Chun, you're doing a little bit of Jiu-Jitsu, you're doing your Muay Thai,
Okay.
and you're doing Silat, all these martial arts, and Filipino Kali. You're learning some stick stuff,
Yeah, yep. Those are
and
cool.
yeah, a lot of fun. But what they do on your first day is they throw you in the pit, right? So I'm in the pit, and I have to roll around with some dudes that already know Brazilian jiu-jitsu. And this was crazy because I get thrown in the pit with this guy who's twice my size, but he's not just twice my size. He looks like Mike Tyson. Like he looks like I thought, like, why is Mike Tyson training here at the school? Like, is he training for UFC? Like, and this was back when UFC was like, new and fresh. And I'm
Uh-huh.
like, but he wasn't Mike Tyson. He just looked like a Mike Tyson. And now I gotta be in the pit with this guy. And this guy is, grabbing me, doing all these things, and I just weasel out of everything. Weasel out.
Yeah.
It's just like somehow every time he goes to get me, I just get out.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it was the Aikido. I don't know what it was, but
Uh-huh.
I was very, I don't know if I put a lot of like
Oil.
oil. No, he's just gonna get a hold of me, right? And finally he gets me down. He gets me down on the ground, on the mat or whatever, and I just kept getting out of everything, and
Uh,
this goes on for 10 minutes, right?
Man,
The
that's a long time.
reason why I know it was a long time and like around that time because the the it's timekeeper kept
Oh,
okay, minute 3,
okay, okay, okay.
minute 5, you know, there was a timekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Minute 10, Sifu was like, going on here, minute 10? He's yelling at the Mike Tyson guy. He's yelling at him,
Oh,
what the hell is wrong? You gotta get him, do the block, do the. He's saying all these different moves to do on me. And I didn't know what he's saying. He's just like, give him the arm bar, give him the blah, give him the yeah. So
no,
he's saying all these
nobody
and
was coach. Nobody was coaching you.
no.
Nobody
This
was
is my
coaching the
first
new
day.
guy. That's all
No,
I.
he's telling the new guy what to do. Get him with this, get him with that, find this,
Yeah.
get him that, grab him here. And now it just finally I'm like, I'm tired. I'm at this point. I give up. But they're just like, what? And the seafood comes over and he's like, okay, this is unheard of. No one's ever done this. We gotta train you. We we gotta train you for MMA. And I'm like, this is my first day. I don't even know what the hell I'm supposed to do here. Like, what's going on? But but I started training hard. I started training really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Kicks going and getting some Muay Thai kicks, getting
Oh, nice.
some good some good
Striking.
foundational movements. Yeah, a lot
Mm-hmm.
of good striking. And I was feeling like, okay, this is more my thing. This is more, but I
Uh-huh.
didn't want to do MMA. I didn't want to go pro. It wasn't even a thought. And at the time, I was also doing music.
Oh, okay.
I was heavy into rap. I was heavy into writing songs and all that. And
So I know. I
we
know you
had
guys. I know you guys rap a little bit in some episodes.
some episodes, right? But the thing was, this was I had a producer that was very adamant about you gotta stay focused. You gotta stay focused on your craft. Blah blah blah. And he tells me before we sign a contract, we had a group, right? We had a rap group that was literally we were being scouted by Spike Lee's assistant,
Oh, wow.
and he wanted to do a video for us, right? Because we had the
Spike,
song. Yeah, Spike Lee. I
the,
forget the guy's name.
the director, Spike Lee, the director.
Yes, Spike Lee's
Oh, okay.
the director had an assistant.
Okay.
They were filming out in Brooklyn and Coney Island.
Okay.
I remember we had to ride all the way out to Coney Island to meet this guy for something. And then the thing with that was, oh, they were filming He Got Game.
Oh, I never heard about
That
that one.
He
Uh-huh.
Got Game is a good movie. It's starring Denzel Washington.
Oh, okay.
Ray Allen was the basketball player. It's about a basketball player from the projects who makes it out of the projects, right?
Do you
And
do you know what year that movie came out, or
I want to
more or
say
less?
97.
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
not
around that
sure
time. Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
Um, and so so He Got Game. The assistant director wanted to direct our music video. He was so into the song that we created. So my producer
Hmm.
tells us as a group, you gotta sign a contract. We're not moving forward until we sign a contract. Blah blah blah. My co partner in the group didn't want to do any signing of any contracts. He wasn't no, but my producer knew that I was doing martial arts. I was heavy into it at the moment, and he tells me you got to make a decision between music or martial arts,
Oh,
and I
okay.
chose music. Right? I chose music because I really believed in this project that we were doing at the moment. And the name of the group, it was called Mental Castaways. right? Which is
Nice name.
it was a great name, great name. We were a little crazy, nuts, but we had an incredible song that
Uh-huh.
it would have had a video. We would have probably blew up. I don't know, but anyway, that decision to do music and just focus on music because I had a guy producer that wanted to, it's all about focus. You can't
Hmm.
split the two. You can't do both.
Yeah.
So I stopped doing martial arts completely
Ooh.
and focused on music. And then some point, maybe 15 years later,
Oh wow.
that itch came back.
For martial arts.
Yes. The
Hmm.
itch was coming back. And when you scratch an itch, you're like,
Yeah.
you scratch it, it doesn't come back for days or months or whatever. Then you get the itch again. You're like, that itch is.
So for that time, no martial arts at all. Like no. Oh, dude, you lost
I
some conditioning.
I probably did a little bit of boxing.
But nothing serious, right?
Yeah, nothing serious. I literally had you remember the Bob?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Bob the
yeah,
dummy? Yeah, I
yeah,
had a
yeah, yeah.
Bob in my apartment and I would punch him 4 times a week.
Uh huh.
Literally,
That's
I
it.
walk by him and punch him and leave. It, it, that's all the boxing we were doing, right? So, but it was strange because I was living in Astoria, and I had this really awesome plush apartment that I
Uh
was
huh.
paying a lot of rent for. And then eventually I moved from the apartment
Hmm.
and I had all this expendable because my rent from my
Went
went
down.
went yeah, it dropped completely, right? So I was able to, find a school. The thing was finding a school wasn't like it wasn't I just knew I had the itch.
Yeah, to go back.
Itch again to go back. I need to get back in it. So this went on for about another maybe 6 months of an
Okay.
itch. And you're like, now it's like,
Yeah.
so
So at this time, are we talking maybe like what, 2009, 2010, something like
this is
that, or
2012, maybe
okay, 2000, okay, okay.
2012. Um, then I had a funny. I was working at a hotel. I was a doorman, not a bouncer, because you can't say bouncer in a hotel, in a boutique hotel. Nice, uh,
Upper
beautiful. You
scale.
walk in, there's a waterfall. There's every yes, very upscale.
Uh huh.
And what I was doing, I was a doorman slash security
Okay.
slash bellman. I would help out the bellman, if they needed luggage or something like that. But my thing was mainly doorman and security. I love the security part. That was fun for me.
Yeah.
But the thing with that school, that job was literally around the corner from the school.
From the Jeet Kune Do school, right?
No, from
No.
my school that I'm at now with Sifu Alex.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So you met Sifu Alex around that time, like 2012, 2011, something like
Yes.
that. Ah, okay, okay.
2013, I believe I started there.
So you,
Um,
so you went from Jeet Kune Do to Wing Chun. Okay, okay. So you did a Jeet Kune Do, and then you had to stop because of music, and
and I
then
stopped for about 15 years, right?
and then you got this job. And so did you started this job at when you met Kung Fu Genius, or you met the Kung Fu Genius a little after?
A little after. I
Okay.
I was I probably was working there for about 2 years at the time, 3 years. Now, I want to add that at the JKD school,
Hmm.
there was a wooden dummy way back in the corner.
Yeah.
Way back in the corner. And
Nobody
this
used it.
wooden dummy was never touched. I never seen anyone go near it. It was mystical, magical there. No one knew anything about it. It was just there. And I was always intrigued by that thing. I would look over it like, I want to learn what's that about. But I never asked anyone. It
Yeah,
was just there.
those look intriguing. Those look.
Yeah, yeah. But
I
I've
only
never
seen
seen
them.
anyone touch it.
Yeah.
And then what was strange was I remember that same producer that told me I had to choose between martial arts and music.
Hmm.
Years back, he would tell me, this is my impersonation of him. Yo, bro, you gotta get into Wing Chun. Wing Chun is the best, man. Wing Chun, Bruce Lee did Wing Chun. You gotta do Wing Chun, right? And that always echoed in the back of my mind, right?
Yeah.
This guy's my one of my good friends to this day, right? So the thing with that was he would always say something else alongside of the Wing Chun.
Hmm.
He would always say, "Yo, bro, you gotta get a Mac. No, do the PCs and Dells, none of that. You gotta go Mac. Mac is the best, right?" So I was always doing PCs since what, I don't know, 2000, 2001. And
Uh-huh.
then eventually I got a Mac.
Okay.
And then I was like, whoa, my mind was blown. He was right. He was right. This whole time I should have got a Mac a long time. This guy he's a genius. He's so when that little voice in the back of my head is always there. You got to do Wing Chun. You got. Eventually, I listened to him again. I said, "Wait, he was right about the mag. Let
Yeah.
me look into this Wing Chun thing." So that that was strange because when I found the school, the day I found the school was crazy. I was at work.
Uh-huh.
Out, I was out in front of the hotel, and I feel it must have been like the summertime, right? So, oh no, it was in October. It was still warm, but it was October.
Hmm.
And you know how Facebook, you see like an ad on Facebook. You go into Facebook, you're just scrolling, and you see something. Oh, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So my buddy, one of my buddies, who in the same friend circle as the guy who producer guy who told me
Yeah.
about the Max and the Wing Chun, he was interesting in he never did any martial arts,
Uh-huh.
right? But he liked this page, the school of my teacher, Sifu Alex. He liked the page on
Okay.
Facebook. He liked
Yeah.
it. He pressed like on
To get
his he made that,
notifications.
yeah, he made that effort to press like. Never trained martial arts. And I found it odd. Now I was like, whoa, what is this school? This is Wing Chun. I know this stuff. Okay. And then when I go to look at the location, I click on location, and there's like these little pins that drop on the map.
Hmm.
These little pins that drop, they drop right next to each other. I'm like, wait, school is here? Like, they dropped so close to each other, it made me think the school was right in front of me. But it was around the corner.
Oh, and you never
And
saw it
then
before? It was kind of.
never knew the school was there.
That's
And then
funny.
I made an effort to get out of there to go and see the school like that day.
Uh-huh.
I set up, I went out, I figured out how to get out of work for a break. And then I went to the school and I set up for an intro lesson. And then I went in maybe a day or two later, got my intro lesson, and joined that day, right?
Uh-huh. Oh, wow. Okay.
And yeah, I had an amazing instructor for the intro lesson. I was completely sold, and but the thing with the school is you're training as a beginner. You're just You literally don't know what you're doing. You're trying to figure it all out. But I was always training in the afternoons.
After work or before work?
I was always training before work because I worked in the
Before.
evenings,
Okay, okay,
right?
okay.
I was always, or I would go for lunch. If I was working a day shift, I would go to lunch classes.
Okay.
So at that time, I went about 6, 7 months. I'd never even seen Sifu Alex Richter
He
because
was
he
teaching.
trained. He was teaching the advanced classes
Oh,
in the nighttime,
yeah, yeah.
right?
When you're at work, yeah.
And I was always going to the noon classes,
Mhm.
afternoon classes. So I had a little circle of people that I knew. I never even got to see Alex Richter until 8 months later. You know,
Oh,
it was
wow.
really, yeah, it was really strange. Eventually, I made it to an evening class, and a whole new world opened up. I was
Okay.
training under a different Sifu, but it was a completely it was a many more people in the class.
Uh-huh.
The noon class has maybe like few people, what, 7 people, but then
Uh-huh.
you got a other you get to the night class and it's like 50 people. You know, it's just a whole new world. You're training with
Uh-huh.
all these different people, and I'm like, oh, this is different, but I love it. So then I started getting into more evening classes, and then the rest, I guess the rest is history. I guess eventually I got to meet Alex
Uh-huh.
in a class setting. He was teaching a class. I got to get to one of his classes, and I think he he decides to grab me and demonstrate some stuff on me. He's like, "Oh, this guy, I'm gonna
The
beat
new
his
guy.
ass. He's the one. He's the one whose ass I'm gonna beat today." So he brings me over, demonstrates some stuff, and I guess that from that point on, that was it. That's where it all started. He's
All right.
he Yeah. So
Is that hotel still around, still in
the whole
business?
the hotel is still around. It's just under different management, different owners,
Oh,
and
I'm
yeah.
oh no, and I'm asking because last May I wanted to go with my son Jean Claude. I wanted to go to New York City
Yeah.
and meet you guys. I wanted to go to City Wing Chong. So I look around on Google Maps. So I was looking for a hotel, but all the hotels are so expensive just for one night. Like
Oh yeah.
I'm talking like $400 or so or more. And I
Yeah.
remember
That.
I took a screenshot of some of the prices,
Oh
and
yeah.
I sent that screenshot to the Kung Fu Genius. I'm like, these prices are out of my budget.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to stay in a hotel, I would suggest you stay in Queens. The prices
Uh-huh.
are a lot cheaper, but Queens is probably the easiest and closest borough to get to New York City, to get to the
Hmm.
actual city. Because if you think about Brooklyn, you stay in Brooklyn, you want to get to Manhattan, you're going to be down in the south of Manhattan,
Hmm.
under World Trade Center, like Wall Street area, coming from Brooklyn. If you go in the Bronx, you stay in the Bronx, you're going to end up in upper New York area. But if you go to Queens, you end up in Midtown East when you
Hmm.
come from Queens to New York City. That's why I think Queens is probably the closest uh, borough to
Uh,
Midtown Manhattan, especially to Seafood School. Seafood lives in Astoria, Queens, so he knows that trick. He
oh,
knows
okay,
that
okay,
that hack. You know,
okay. Is it how close is it walking? Is it like you have to take the subway like from Queens to
subway.
City
Yes.
Winchon?
So
Okay.
yeah, subway is about 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Oh, okay, 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 okay. Because
Yeah.
I still would like I would like to go still, but I need to figure it out. That or the other option is just to go for one day.
Mm, that's right.
But I don't know. I'll figure it out.
You're always welcome. That's all I know.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been. I mean, not at City Wind Chunk, but I've been at at New York City for New York Comic Con.
Oh yeah.
I've been
What
there
year?
twice. What year? 2019. I think was the
Hmm.
last one.
Okay.
I did a vlog on my YouTube channel of that trip.
Did you take
Uh,
your son?
that time, no, no, not yet. Because he was younger. I went with a coworker at that time. Uh, but we went those two times, those 2 years. We went the same day, and it's not. Oh man, it kind of sucks because, well, because we took the bus, and it takes about 4 hours to get there. So
Wow.
we spent 4 hours getting to New York City, and then we had to take the bus back the same day. So that's 8 hours. Just
Wait, where are you located exactly?
I'm right here outside of Boston.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So when you do the math, we spend 8 hours traveling or 8 hours in the bus and
Mhm.
about 4 or 5 hours in the convention. So
Yeah,
it's rough,
that's a full day. Right.
Yeah. And I was like, oh man, this is cool, but I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it because we're spending more time getting there than actually in the convention. And so I'm like, the best way is to spend the night there, but
Right.
it's very expensive, and all the hotels around the Comic Con, I guess I'm sure you have to get a room way in advance and all these
Oh,
things.
oh, of course, of course. Comic Con is a big thing in New York City. You see it, and I never know when it's going to happen, but
Oh
I
yeah,
do know when it's happening because I see the costumes. I see them walking around
it's around
in
October,
Midtown.
November. Yeah, it's around October, I guess, September,
Yeah.
October, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as I see someone in the costume, I'm like, it's not Halloween, it's Comic Con.
Comic Con.
So that's what's happening.
Yeah, yeah, Comic Con. And so then you started uh, doing Wing Chun with Sifu Alex, and you been there all this time, right? Since
Since
2012. Yeah.
since since yep,
So
that is right.
now you teach there, right? Am I right?
I think maybe a year or two, I started helping out like intro lessons
Hmm.
and doing prep, teaching prep classes. Prep classes are the absolute like beginner class that you learn. It's like kindergarten. So you can
Oh,
say I
okay.
was like a kindergarten teacher. About 2 years in, I want to say, yeah, roughly a year and a half, 2 years after
Hmm.
I joined.
Oh, okay.
Um, and yeah, I've been teaching ever since. So yeah, um, teaching was strange because when I started getting back into martial arts, and I didn't have any particular goal as far as just learning the
Hmm.
art, being an artist, because I've
Yeah, yeah.
always been an artist my whole life. I've always been drawing. I've always been
Oh,
doing some kind of art in
okay.
some way, shape, or form. And I think what happened for me, there was me, training, and then there was me loving the art and loving what was happening for me, and me allowing myself to be creative in that space. And then the teaching thing just kind of made sense. It
Okay.
was like, okay, I can do this. This is cool.
Hmm.
It I mean, I'm not good at it, but I can do it. I like it. And then
Yeah.
eventually I got a little better at this and better at that, and then it started to come together. Um, and then maybe uh, 7, 8 years later, Sifu decides to make me an instructor,
Yeah.
which means he gives me a Sifu title.
Okay.
And when that happened, I was like, oh wow, I guess now it's more serious. Now it's like, okay, now I got to do something with it, because this is not something that you can take lightly, you know,
Uh-huh.
as a martial artist. No.
Do you gu-
So
do you guys teach children at City Wing Chun?
we do. We have, and at the moment, no, because the space doesn't allow
Hmm.
the kids classes. There was a time where I was doing the kids classes primarily. That was me, you know.
Uh-huh.
Seafood trusted me somehow with the kids, and we had a good program going. We had a
Okay.
really good program. Um, and then, of course, certain things happened. A pandemic hit, and we had to do some changes around the school. But the kids class was fun for a couple reasons. I had some kids that were hardcore. They were so good.
Uh-huh.
They were coming up pretty quick, and but they were living here for some of the time of the year. They lived in a different part of the world, and they would come to the city and live here for some time for work. Their father had work here, and
Okay.
they were awesome, awesome, awesome. These uh, two sisters and a brother, and they just excelled so fast, and they just made me so proud
Yeah.
that I couldn't explain the feeling. It was just like,
Uh-huh.
man, this is what it's about. And then we had a time after the pandemic where we were teaching my Sifu's kids,
Oh, okay.
and they were the primary students, his two daughters,
Yeah.
and there were other kids coming in here and there around that, and that went on for some time as well. But then there we had to make some changes with space.
Hmm.
So the space uh, literally got cut in half.
I mean,
So once that happened, yeah,
I never been there, but I know you guys are on the second floor or the third floor,
we were
something like
we
that.
were on we were on the fourth and fifth floor,
Oh, okay.
two
Yeah.
floors, and then the fourth floor got taken out of the equation. So
Oh.
now it's just the fifth floor. So you got to walk all the way up those stairs. Walk up. New York City is notorious for having walk up buildings, and
That's the
that
warm up.
that's yeah, that is the biggest warm up that we have. But yeah, it's kids do spark my interest as far as teaching. I think
Uh-huh.
when I do open my own branch, I will figure out how to get a kids program in there within maybe 6 months of having a
Uh-huh.
branch open. Because they're important.
Yeah,
They're
yeah. Oh,
definitely
yeah.
important to the future of Wing Chun. So
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I know. I wish there were a Wing Chun closer here to get
oh
my
yeah.
son. I mean, I know. I think Donnie Yen's mom. She has a school in downtown Boston. I heard.
that's that's right. She's
Yeah,
an amazing teacher, I hear.
but
She's been doing
not
it 50 years, roughly,
s-
right?
something like that. Yeah,
Oh
but
yeah.
nothing like right now. I take my son about 5 7 minutes away from here,
Hmm.
so that's very convenient, and it's a very good school.
Which
It's
martial art?
he's over there. He's learning BJJ and MMA, and they also have. He also takes Muay Thai. But I
Cool.
know he's a little intrigued with the Wing Chun dummy because he has seen. I show him on Jackie Chan movies, you know.
I know that feeling, man. I know that.
but
What is it
yeah,
about this dummy?
yeah, that's what we were saying.
Amazing.
It's like a mystical thing, you know.
Oh man, really cool. Really cool
Yeah,
to experience that. Um,
but maybe one day.
mhm. Yeah,
Well,
one
Dre,
day.
we haven't spoken. because right now it's only hang out and chat. We haven't spoken about movies or other things, and I could keep going, but I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna respect your time, and I know you. I would like you to have you back another time, and
Sounds good.
that way we can continue. And because otherwise, I'm just gonna keep going.
We can
But
figure it out, I'm sure.
but so once I finish the streaming, just give me like a few minutes, and then. But everybody watching, thank you for watching. Please join us in the comments down below if you have a question or a comment. Uh, and also down in the comments below, I'm gonna put the link of the Kung Fu Genius podcast.
Beautiful.
They do a podcast. They have a YouTube channel. So I'm gonna put the link down below, so you guys can click there and see all the new episodes every Monday. Every Monday, right?
That is
That's
right. Every
around.
Monday around 5 p.m., I believe they
Yeah.
debut. If you're listening to the podcast, if you're just listening, that comes out, I believe, Monday morning.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. And then the
I didn't know about
video
that one.
on YouTube debuts Monday evening.
Yeah, and sometimes you are live on YouTube. I mean, lately he's been doing a couple of live uh, streamings.
Sometimes we
Or
do go live, and that is total chaos. But yeah, it's fun.
you gotta love that.
Total fun.
You gotta love the live streams, man. All right,
Wow.
guys. So thank you guys for watching. And again, I'm gonna put that link down below so you guys can click there. And
Yes,
Dre,
man. Thank you for having me.
thank you for being here. And I would love a second part, maybe third part. I don't know. Then maybe like a
We can make it happen, I'm sure.
like a Wing Chun Dummy episode or something.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wing Chun.
All right, guys.
Love it.
Thank you, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.